What's going
Oh,
on?
I'm sorry. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. We know how it is when you squirt. That song
Sorry.
music playing. That's
Sorry.
it. I mean, it's rejuvenating. I mean,
Hey.
it's good music. It gets you ready for the show.
Yes,
It
it
gets you
does.
ready for what to expect. Kind of,
Yes.
sorta. Uh,
Yes.
but yeah, folks. Welcome back to
Yes.
another
Clear your
Wednesday
throat.
night. Yeah, clear my throat. Welcome back to another Wednesday night at the
That's
bridge. So
that's
we hope y'all
tears.
missed
Look,
this.
y'all. That's if you don't know Tear by now. That's Tear's thing. Tear always clearing his throat.
Always clear my
Sometimes I'd be
throat.
like, bro, just take something.
But it's like a bad thing. The one thing that I'm really trying to work on is my sniffing. Like
Oh yeah.
I went back and listened like while some of the shows like I was telling you earlier, and I'm just sniffing this. I'm like, yo, will you stop? And that's why I just looking at myself. I'm gonna get angry. And now you know what and I don't know, like we're our biggest critics, So maybe
No,
I was just
I'm
getting mad at
bad.
myself, but I
I'm
was
bad
like,
too because I watched
yeah.
one show that I went back and watched the show
Mhm.
and I was like this. I'm like, motherfucker, get off the damn phone.
Yeah. No.
And that's
I feel
mainly
you.
because I was actually going backwards and forth with somebody on eBay that was trying to return something,
Uh-oh.
try to say that I said one thing and I know what I said in the description. So I'm just like, you know what? You want your money back, you got to return the item. They don't like when you say that because they want to keep the item, they get their money back.
Mhm. That's when you know.
No, 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 no,
That's
no.
when you know that there wasn't a problem.
There was
Because if
never
I
a
got
problem.
something and they had a problem or it was broke or something like that, and I'm like, hey, and you told like the shipper was ever like, well, if you wanted a replacement, you got to send the other one back.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, it's broke. Sure, take it. Like, what am I gonna do with it? It's broken.
Or my most favorite one, they were like, "No, it's nothing wrong with it. Can you just send me another one just to replace this one?" Why? You said there's nothing wrong with the first one I sent you. What's wrong with you? Y'all think I'm that stupid?
Yeah, for real. Jeez Louise.
Oh Jesus, people are weird. I say that all the
Oh,
time, and
weird.
it's becoming true every single time.
Yeah.
People are so strange.
And I hope
So
y'all are ready because
yes.
for season two we're getting the people weird team
Oh
here.
yeah.
For season two, there will be a people people are weird tea,
People are weird TV.
and that's lowbrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be your two.
With a side of rubber dub.
It's not a rubber duck. That's lowbrow. So, hope y'all are ready for that. Um, that is none of your business. All right. So,
Oh snap!
what
What happened?
happened?
What
What?
I missed?
Oh, nothing. Nothing. Who's that? Who
Oh
dropped in?
oh oh.
But tonight we have Lizzy on. So, Lizzy is an artist, a cosplayer, a business owner, owns a store. So, I mean, we're gonna do some talking tonight. You're gonna get to learn some of the things that she does, how she does it, what made her want to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna let her introduce herself to y'all. So let's bring on up on the bridge, Lizzy Collins. Hey, Lizzy, welcome to the
How
bridge.
are you, Lizzy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Try to
Doing
be
well.
like you one day.
Hmm. Hmm.
I need some checks.
Yep.
I
Uh,
appreciate it. I'm still an amateur, but I'm really
Girl, look here. I don't care. Amateur checks. I don't care. I need some checks.
for real, for
I'm
real.
tired of sick of this 9 to 5 shit. It's some whole shit. I need some checks.
Jesus
nine to
Christ.
five. It's some 9 to 5 is some whole shit.
no,
It
it is.
really is.
It is. I still have my 9 to 5.
Look,
Yeah.
look, Lord, look. Hold on. Lord, please forgive me because I need my job. Okay, but
Yep.
yeah,
Anubis is here. Anubis is here. What's going on, Anubis?
Anubis, what's going on?
Yep.
That's my boy. That is my
So,
boy. Now, crazy cosplay. I love his cosplay.
mhm.
Yes.
He's very creative. He's
Yeah,
very creative.
very.
Like I know he was he told me one to cosplay not Kave, but Daquan. First thing I thought was like, oh man, the arms. And this dude built them. And I got to see them like at a KaiCon. I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was so It's like it's weird because like I created the character and then someone
Mhm.
cosplayed the character, built the arms and everything, and I'm like, I was like fan struck, like, wow,
That's
oh
crazy.
my god, Anubis is a good dude. So
Yeah.
Lizzy, like I said, artist, cosplayer, and store owner. Introduce yourself to the folks out there. Let them know what it is you do, where it is you're from, who you are,
Mhm.
and yeah, whatever else you feel everyone needs to know about you.
All right, so I'm Elizabeth Collins, but nobody really calls me Elizabeth, so Lizzy. And I own the store AnimeInkArt. So I've been drawing, for a while, and now I sell my art on a variety of products. So it did
Mm.
start with Redbubble. So I do have a Redbubble store. So for me, all of my designs are hand drawn by me first. So
Mm.
pencil, pen, and then I digitally edit. That's like my way to mix them until I can digitally draw.
Mhm.
But I get the job done with that, and I can put my designs on a variety of products. So on Redbubble, there's like tons of products, from phone cases, pillowcases, cell phone cases. There's over 100 products in each design in the store. So like I have that online store, and I go and I vend in different, because I live in Irvington, New Jersey. So I go to different parts of New Jersey. Right now I'm trying to go to different states eventually, especially for conventions. So I do
Mm.
Okay.
vend in person with my items as well. I'm also trying to do more commissions, so I started that in May. So that's
Okay.
what I'm trying to do, and like to push that. Um, the last thing is, well, two things. I like to like highlight other like black businesses, other
Mm.
like creators, like cosplayers. It could be anything. Businesses, cosplayers. Sometimes like the cosplayers and the influencers have their own businesses too. So
Mhm.
like anything, I try to like highlight them in my stories. Like show them love, because it's just a way for me to like do my stuff, but like showcase other people, and it's like
Yeah.
networking. And then the last thing is that I'm trying to like have more products that's not in the Redbubble store. So I'm trying to like have a Shopify on the side and see how it works. So I'm selling like tumblers and high top sneakers and sandal sliders. So that's
Okay.
something that just started this month, and I just talked about it. So it's something new, and so like things like these, the tumblers, because I got samples of it.
Okay.
It's like these. So
How many
Nice.
yeah,
samples did you get? Because I think I saw your video on on IG
I
where
got
you were showing them.
I got four because at the time, I was checking out this fulfillment service called Printify,
Okay.
and I didn't know that you're supposed to already have like a connected commerce store. So I connected just like a random one,
Mhm.
and I asked somebody to see the link, but Printify is not the store. You have to have your own store. So I had to activate my Spotify.
Oh
Everything
man.
comes full circle, and I had to figure it
Mm.
out in order to get these products that are not in Redbubble. So when I did
Yeah.
it, I like ordered four of them. So I have like four of them with me right now.
Mhm.
And then I realized that, oh, wait, I need to have like a Shopify or a different store. So I
Yeah.
ordered them. And then when I realized them, I canceled them, but they didn't cancel the order. But now all of these are in the Shopify store.
That's what's up. So that's like a almost a happy accident. Not, yeah, kind of like a
Yeah,
happy
It
accident. It's
all
like,
it
oh, I
happened
want to
for
see
it
this,
happened for a
and then it happened.
reason.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was meant to
Yeah.
happen for you to make
Exactly.
those cups. So this that's crazy. You had to go through all those steps and connect this and connect that. Just
Yeah.
create something where I can just set up. You can print my stuff. If I want you to, sell it for me, then
Mhm.
you take a percentage. I'm cool with that. As long as
Yep.
Yeah.
my, you
That's
help
like
share
for
my
me,
stuff.
like I use Square as my storefront, and then
Hmm.
like a lot of my apparel I use Printful, and it was like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it was an easy sync to Square. So it was just like I created a shirt or whatever, and then it just bloop, and it
And then it
automatically
goes
drops into
straight.
it.
Yeah,
Yep,
now
like
with
it's just so much
Shopify,
smooth. Mhm.
yeah, now with Shopify, like whatever I post on Printify, it goes straight to Shopify once I figured
Nice.
it out. So that's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that part is pretty cool about it. That I think, and then also the other cool part is which I'm trying to really and Printify. You can let me know if they do this too.
Yeah.
Because I know at Printful they'll package your stuff up for you. And then now they have something where if you want to keep it on brand, they'll do that too. But I
Mhm.
guess I have to supply them with the stuff, which honestly isn't a big deal. I just
Mhm.
got to know where to supply it out. I don't know if I'm gonna call them though and ask because I really want to do it. So like when
Yeah.
people do order like apparel, they'll still get the same type of
Yeah.
shipping, like the same poly mailers as if I sent them comics from
Correct.
my home base.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, I started off making my own tees. Did you start off that way too? Like making your own tees and stuff like that? Like your own t-shirts and everything? Or did you just go straight to
Yeah,
like
I went straight to like fulfillment only
Mhm.
only because like if I wasn't still working while I'm doing this, it would make
Mhm.
it so much easier to like
Yeah.
experiment with that. So when I first started, um like I made the art but I never
Mhm.
like transferred it to anything. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like a fish out of water. I'm like, I don't know how to do, like I could learn it
Yeah.
as
Yeah. Yeah.
now that I have the fulfillment service, people have like tried to show me things and that. And when you're printing your own shirts, you need like a cry cut machine and all that
Yeah.
stuff on top of like shipping. But at the
Mhm.
moment, it's like I work in the morning. That's hard to do all of that. So I
Yeah.
was like, I just went straight to fulfillment
Yeah.
service.
And that makes
Yeah.
sense because when I was doing mine, I was working. And I remember even Scorpio was like, "Are you making your shirts?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Where are you finding time?" I'm like, "Bro, that's crazy. Like, I don't have
Look,
a weekend."
look.
So it
I
was,
was gonna I was
yep.
gonna try. I have a shirt, some shirt ideas.
Mhm.
I was gonna try and do it myself.
Yeah.
After just practicing and doing the first one, I was like, oh hell no.
Yep. That's why I say, like,
I'm
I
gonna
think,
find somebody, just pay the money, have them do it.
yeah,
Just send me the
for real.
shirts.
That's why for me,
It's too
like
much.
using Printful and just putting it through my store,
Yeah.
man, it's been so easy. Like I'm just like people were so I same thing like you said. People came to you was like, "Hey, use this and use a heat print." I've had people come to me like, "Hey, you should print your own shirts." I'm like, I started that way. No,
Yeah.
like I'm
That's
like if
look.
that was my full thing, like just making tea, like like plus with the comics and stuff, like it was really starting to take over everything, and I'm like, no, so I don't have the time to do it, So it was crazy.
That's the key word. Look, that's the key word of tonight. It's some whole shit. I'm not gonna do all
For real. Yep. Just like Anubis
that.
said, he said that's how I am with everything I do. Just a fish out
Yeah,
of water.
it's a
Yep.
fish out of well, you because unfortunately we're in times where you used to could go and ask people and
Yep.
get
Yeah.
And
like a
be able to share
mentor and
information.
stuff like that, but
Mhm.
for some reason people have this mindset that, oh, you're gonna do better than I am, so
Don't share the
I'm not
secrets.
gonna give you all
Exactly.
the stuff. And I'm just like, if you're doing something and I do something the same thing as you are, just know mine is gonna be completely different from yours. Mine is gonna
Exactly.
attract different people from what you attract.
Yep.
It
What I
may have some similarities, but we're not going to be the exact same. So
exactly what I call that. Yeah. Y'all can laugh or tell me if it's a good name or tell me if I'm mean. I call that the
well, no matter.
babies in the I call that the babies in the business. And I've said that to people before when people will say that. And I'm like, those are the babies in the business. And people will get mad. And I'm like, no, but think about it. You have a totally different fan base than I do. Even if we're doing comics and all of us are doing comics, right?
Hmm. Yep.
You're gonna do your comics different than the way I do my comics, and because of that, you're gonna get your fans that are gonna
Hmm.
be different from my fans. Just like how now, like me, I've always been a Marvel DC fan, but it's always been that. Like you've had people who prefer DC over
Yeah.
Marvel, and I'm talking about the comic books, and then people who prefer Marvel over DC. It's always been that way. Yeah, I think it's just recently now they're trying to make it a war. It wasn't a war
It
back
was
then. It was
never a
just,
war. That's
yeah,
all. Like,
people were
where all
just
this come
like,
from?
okay,
It
people just
happens.
went to their own side of the comic book store and brought their shit and left.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, what do you think about that? Like, have you had experiences like that where you would go to someone who's doing something
Yeah.
similar to you and you'll ask for not even not an idea, but just, hey, where did you get this done? Or hey, who did you get your polymers made from? And then they
Or
don't
they
ask you, leave you on red,
or they
or
come
try to
out with
cuss you
that
out.
old or they come out with that old saying, the game is sold, not told.
Yeah, like what, like, have you ever had that happen to you, Lizzie? Like, have you had that happen?
I mean, I don't know. Because like when I first started like vending in person, I guess I could say in that sense, not in terms of like asking. I've had like people try to like salesperson me and pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that has happened. When you want to ask for help, like just say like, "Oh, check out my Redbubble store. Am I doing something right?" And that turned into like, I guess we were gonna do this, and that, and I've only been doing it for 2 months, and then we're gonna create. That's what I said
Yeah.
about the Shopify. He created an email list, added people I didn't know, and then afterwards, he's like pressuring me. He's like, it has a 5-hour time difference and stuff like that, and I'm trying to explain to him like, I still work, I still draw by hand, and and it takes a few hours, and
Yeah.
I have to do it after work. I'm not gonna have one every single day. I don't copy and paste stuff and put it. I like spend the time to do it. So it's kind of just like I had pressures like that. I guess like interactions with some vendors because I didn't start in the convention side. There was somebody from work that like showed me like a pop-up flyer, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't even know they were watching my stuff." First of all, I was like, "Okay." Then they were like, "Oh, I don't know if you need like to do a pop-up for your art, but here you go." And it was like for a baker, food. So that my experiences were like normal pop-ups. It could be for anybody. It wasn't even like anime. So for me, it was like at that time I didn't have anybody that was doing anime related stuff, and I didn't know until like a few months later when I started doing the AnimeInkArt Black Brand Spotlight. So because like the blurred community is a little slightly nicer than than that, I haven't had too much experiences. Maybe like maybe not answer you back sometimes depending on how popular they are. Maybe you know what I mean, or if their personality is such where they just maybe this person wants clout from me, so I may not respond, or I'm too busy. So, I don't mind. With the vendors, like in the regular pop-ups, some are like really nice. You'll like talk to them for like the whole time. Some when you approach them, it could be because they're shy. It could be just like, I don't know you, so why, but they don't want to talk that much. They like, say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And then they stare you down. And then, because I go to every vendor and I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing? My name is this and that." Like it's kind of like a standoffish thing mostly. Like they won't say certain things, but it's just, they'll just like not really interact. They just want to like get their money and like leave. Like they don't really.
They don't. They don't.
I feel that. I feel
So
that.
when I went to like a anime related convention, that's what caused me to want to go to them, just because like I feel like because we have things in common, they were more approachable. They were like talking about like other things they were going to. They were like offering me like, "Oh, I'm applying to this, and that." So it was like more like welcoming because they know what I do. They have an idea. They have an idea what I like. So it wasn't just like, like, "Oh, this is cute." Like, I'll like, tell my sister or my homie that like that likes anime, and they may not. They may not ever say, that they may not ever tell them. Some have, and I appreciate it, but like sometimes they may not. They're just saying it to like say it.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before too. People are like, "Oh, I'll buy something from your store."
Nothing.
Okay. That's all I'm just like, okay.
I'll call you when I need a service.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Phone never rings.
I'll call. I'll like email you. I'll email you if I need a commission, or like I'll message you if I need a commission, or like, "Oh, I have this idea for something." Like I'll hit you up, and then they don't hit you up.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm like now I'm to that point where it's like when I see it, I believe you.
Exactly.
So it's like
seeing is believing.
Exactly.
That's how it is now. Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, SJ. Oh, the crowd's coming in now.
SJ.
It's okay. It's okay that you were allowed. It's okay. Boogie, what's going on?
So boogie.
Yeah, the boogie.
The boogie.
Oh, boogie. But yeah, like I've had people do that to me. Like, "Oh yeah, I'll go to your store and buy it."
Yeah.
And I remember I was having a conversation with my mom one time, and my mom is like, she's a huge promoter. Like she promotes my stuff to like all of her friends. She's like, "Yeah, my son makes comics and he has 2 degrees in business. He can help you start your business," like all this stuff. And like so they're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get him to help." And I'm like, "I'll talk to my friend," and they say they're gonna email you to help. And I'm just like, okay, well. And like one time she was like, why do you say it like that? She's like,
because
And I'm like, Mom, I believe it when I see it. I'm like, because a
Yeah.
lot of these people will tell you that because you're their friend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then don't do anything. Like there was someone who told my mom, like, yeah, I ordered because like me and that other person, we kind of went to the same church, grew up and everything,
Mhm.
and they were like, yeah, I ordered some of Tyrone's stuff. And my mom told me about that. I was like, no, they didn't, Mom. He's like, but that's what they said. My mother, no, they did not, Mom, no. And I was like, I know everybody who ordered something from me because I see the name. And I'm like, and if it's somebody I
My
grew up with,
mother,
I'm gonna be like, yo. Now
look,
I know who I grew up with who's ordered things,
Yeah.
but it
my
wasn't
mother
that
is
person.
bold. My
You know,
mother is
so
bold. She would tell me such and such say they were gonna call you for a service. I'm like, okay, cool. And then
mhm.
she'll tell me, did you hear from such and such? No. What you mean you didn't hear from? I said, they said. I said, no one called
Yep,
me. Then she would approach that person, and be like, okay, he's waiting for you to call. Why haven't you? My
yep,
mother will actually do that.
mhm. And that's how
That's why my mama supports me. That's why I
yep. And
love
that's
It's
how
her
my
to
mom
death.
was like, she just started like, she'll ask me, she'll like, did such and such email you? And that's when she found out.
Mhm.
Like the reason why I said, okay, Mom, because she was like, such and such email you, and I'm like,
like nah.
no, ma'am. No, ma'am, they didn't.
Nope, they
She's
didn't,
like,
ma.
what?
No,
And
ma'am.
I'm like, no, ma'am. And then she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna say something like Mama, no. I just
Don't even waste your time.
because like, my mom's a Scorpio. I told you
Oh,
this,
I'm a
Scorpio. My
Scorpio
mom's a
too.
Scorpio,
Yeah.
so she be wanting to. She be like, all right, then I'm gonna find. I'm like, Mom, don't worry, Mom. I was like, I don't chase people, Mama. I was like, I don't chase
We're all
people.
about like if you got a problem, tell us. So I understand why she's like,
Exactly. And yeah, SJ's a Scorpio too, and I'm pretty sure that's what my mom be
Hmm.
thinking. Oh, you just lied to me in my
it's like the
face.
lot it's like the radar. You got the
Yeah.
radar.
We
Like I
don't. We
peep.
don't. I don't like it. And see, as a Scorpio, that's one thing about us. Be honest. Do
Mhm.
Yes.
not. We are more. We are pissed off when you lie to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Don't
and I
lie to
think
me.
Exactly.
and like for me as a Libra, I'm a Libra, right? But like even for me, like I don't like that either because I look at it like, what's the point?
Yeah.
That's how I look at what was the point in that. Like you could
What
have
you
just
think I'm
said,
gonna do to you?
I don't want to read your shit. I'm like, thank you. Like,
Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you.
appreciate your honesty. I really appreciate like don't do that. But like for me, like once they do it, it's just like,
You're like, oh, I appreciate you. You actually
yeah,
like did it.
yeah,
You
mhm,
put
Being
your actions to your words. Because
exactly.
I've had a family member, love them still. It's just
honest.
what was it? They always say they like my stuff and
Hmm.
everything. And they're busy. They got a child. The one thing
Hmm.
about me is if you say you support my stuff, I'm not expecting you to buy right away. But
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
now here's the thing: if you say you're gonna buy in a certain time and then you don't do it, you could have just said, I'm like, people that tell me like once my money's up, I will. That's fine.
Mhm.
That's fine.
That's fine.
I can
That's fine.
understand that.
But like he said he was gonna buy something and then he got busy. I said okay. And then I think it was like I would share stuff with him, like the
Mhm.
videos and stuff that I do. And it was like a few months after he said he would. And then like he was just like, oh, I'm gonna buy something from your store now. But then he asked me like, oh, do you have a discount code?
Oh, the devil is a lie. No, we don't.
And I was like, you
Mm-mm.
see, the thing is, I would have said no, but then I got trapped because he saw the video where there was already a sale. I was like, damn it.
Damn. That's what he was waiting.
You
That's
know
what he
what
was
you
waiting
look,
for.
Lizzie. This is how you get out of it. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sale ended at 12 midnight
How
yesterday.
about
You
you?
should have called me yesterday.
But he never bought. He never bought anything, and he never like sent like because some of the few people that have bought from me, they'll like either send a picture to me or
Hmm.
like I'll see the notification, and then based on the
Yeah.
state, I'm like, oh yeah, this person said they were gonna order. But yeah, like or the one time he was like he wanted like a commission thing, so I did it. It was like a Majin Buu like Piccolo like chibi, so I did that.
Mhm.
And then I remember he was like, "Oh, I'll wait. I will never forget. He's like, I'll wait till you have anime characters that I know because I'm an old person. I'm not into the new animation." And I was just like, "Okay." And then after that, I stopped sharing stuff because I was just like, um, um,
Wow.
I was like, copyright.
Like for real.
Like
Like what?
I'm on Redbubble. Like you have to be careful. You have to be careful with the choice words and stuff you do. With the Shopify, yeah, I can put what I want, make sure that I'm not copying them, do my own thing. But Redbubble is like you literally can get reported if you do certain things. So it's like not every design is gonna be a specific character. It might be a spin on a character sometimes it can be the original character, but I just choose not to put their names because I don't want to be like that to like get in trouble. You know what I mean? So it's just when he said that, I was just like, you do realize copyright, right? Like if you were asking me for a commission, if you were to pay me, yeah, but like you understand if you put out merchandise, I have to be careful. So like you don't want original stuff too mixed with
that dude sounded like he was making every excuse in the world. Like I love when people lie so much. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I read your book," and they'll tell me which book they bought based off of whatever. But I was like, "Oh really? What did you think about it?"
And then silence.
It was good. What was good about it?
What was good about it? What did you enjoy?
That one part. Which part was that? It was.
And then they'll say like something that they saw in the post that I did. And I'm just like, "Oh, anything else?" It's like you don't have to do that. Just say, "Hey, I can't do it now." Like me, I'm a very understanding person. Like. And a lot of people in the Chimera Kingdom who talk to me directly, like I know we talk a lot, Lizzy now, Scorpio, everybody that's out there, and like if somebody say I can't do that now, I'm like, okay, cool, or I can't buy it now, I'm sorry, okay, cool.
Now like, the Scorpio part of me is just like, oh damn, I just pissed him off.
Exactly.
That's the Scorpio part. Because I'm just like, shit, I should have told him I'd pay it next week.
Like, is his scale still balanced?
Yeah, is it more of the side like that broke mother ain't gonna buy? I understand though. Broke bastard.
That's the curse of the Libra. That's what it'll be like. But you know what? I get it. Because I remember, like I ain't had no money last week.
Is he gonna remember when I need help with something? Oh dang it! Let me go buy it. Shit. Had to scrape up some money and
it's funny though because honestly that's how everything be hit me sometimes like if I weigh everything like if I'm like instead of like blowing up on people, so if I'm blowing up on someone because all right, now we know all three of us are understand astrology and stuff, like my moon, which the moon is your emotional side, right? Is an Aries. So when I blow up on people, that's the Aries. That's not the Libra. The Libra comes back later and it's like, yo, what were you doing? Wait it out. What, did they deserve that? Yes, they deserve that. Okay, well, could you have done it a different way? Yeah, you're right. I could have done it a different way.
You said so, the moon sign is for your emotions?
Yeah, so I mean my sun is Libra, my moon is Aries, and my ascendant is Aquarius. Yeah.
Mine is
why I'm hella emotional.
Sun is Scorpio, moon is Virgo, descendant is Cancer.
It's Cancer. Yep, see? Yep. Yeah. No, hold on, because when I found that out, I was like, as soon as I saw that my moon was Aries and I found out what the moon represented, I was like, that makes so much sense. That's the reason why everybody thought I was everything else but a Libra. Like, you're a Scorpio, just like your mom. Like, no, I'm a Libra. No, you're not a Libra. Like, yes, I am. But yeah, so it's like, if you ever see me blow up on someone or cut someone off, honestly, if you see me cut someone off, that's when the Aries and the Libra said, you know what? Fuck them.
Wow.
But if I just blow up on someone, that's the Aries side. The Aries side took over. So,
yeah, my mom's an Aries. I understand.
What are you looking at, Scorpio? You trying to find out what your
I'm trying to find out what my damn moon is. I don't know what my moon is. Hold on.
I only figured that out a year ago. I think I was like, "Oh wow, that's why people don't think I'm a Scorpio right away."
Yep, that's the reason why people didn't believe. That's why people didn't believe I was a Libra. Like people who like knew me growing up and stuff, or even people that I knew in the military when they would find out, like, you're a Libra. Like, no, like, yeah, is there? Or people who've even honestly, like the close circle who've seen me get mad. Like I know Scorpio, like everybody knew, but it's like when they see that side, they're just like,
oh,
you sure?
When I see that side, I have to be like, you know what? I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later because if this Scorpio comes out, you are gonna not
Yeah.
want me as a friend anymore. So what I'm gonna do
We'll
is
always
I'm
be friends.
gonna
We'll always
I
be friends.
and I know that, and I
I'm
know that with
Chucky.
all my heart.
I'm
So
Chucky. Friends to the end, Heidi Ho.
see, and I'm Michael Myers. I'm always find you. I'm a, I'm always find you. So I'm just like, so a lot of times I have to be like, you know what? I'm gonna just walk away. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Give me 24 hours.
That's the thing, though. That's how you know you got a good friendship. Like,
Yeah,
if you can bump heads and then you come back.
yeah,
Yeah.
If you got that friend who's always gassing you up, and you're just like, you know what? I've never been mad at them. You might. You might want to be like, who sent you?
uh huh.
Who's who sent you? Why are you here? Um, but okay. So I do want to ask you. We know that you're into art and stuff like that. So how long have you been drawing? Oh,
Third grade.
third. Oh, okay, that's
Oh
what I'm talking about.
wow.
Do you remember your first? Do you remember your first picture that you drew? Like of what?
Uh, I remember like I was like, because my dad's an architect and he can draw, but then I
Okay.
was like, can I really draw? And then one day, I don't know if it was like Bratz. I don't know what the character was. It was like had a head, like those type of characters, and it was on my pajama pants, so I decided to try to like trace it to see how it was. And so that's what I vaguely remember, and then
Okay.
what I also remember vaguely was like I would start like sometimes we would go out to like trips in New York, like on the boat. So I would see like the light
Mhm.
tower and stuff like that, and I would start like trying to draw what I see. So like that's
That's
how
cool.
that's like what I vaguely remember. So like
Mhm.
that first thing was tracing, but then my dad's like, you can do it without the tracing. Let's try it. I'm like, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I can like draw what I see. And then he was just like, oh yeah, you got it. And then like over the years, like I feel like me drawing slow was because he would be like, oh, because he's an architect, he's like, oh, this is not proportionate. You gotta like fix it here, make sure alignment.
Yeah.
So like I would do that because I wanted to be like as anatomical as I can from what I'm seeing. So
Mhm. I feel that. I feel
yeah.
that. I think I started drawing the first grade. I think the first time I drew, of course, Ninja Turtle. They were easy.
Oh,
They were easy to draw. Just an oval and a little rectangle, circle. They
Y'all
were easy
already
to draw.
know. Y'all already know what my first thing was. What I draw, and I still do to this day.
Scorpion.
mhm.
Stick figures.
You know what's funny? Like when you try to explain to people like how, because I didn't start out with the circle, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Circle,
Yeah,
Yeah.
rectangle, square,
yeah. Mhm.
ball, and then it turns into limb.
Then you turn it into a Ninja Turtle.
It's like people get confused. You're like, what do you mean that it's like rectangles and thing? You have to show
Yeah,
them
like it's
Yeah.
just shapes.
drawing books and stuff for them to get it. I
Yeah.
Because I did reference drawing, I would do everything just from what I see. That's
Mhm.
hard because it's like you don't have a reference. Like once I tried to do original characters and I learned the other method. I'm like, this is simple. This is a simple way to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when it gets harder is like because when you start off with just with this like I said oval rectangle, four rectangles in a circle, and
Yeah.
then you learn how to like draw them from the side, and you're like, wait a second, your oval becomes 3D, your circle becomes a sphere.
That's crazy.
You're just like, what the hell is going on? Then you start doing all that. But it's wild though how it's just shapes. Everything is just shapes, and then it's just the detail within that shape.
Yeah.
It's wild how that works. So
That's
third
crazy.
grade, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Um, did you have any like breaks in drawing, or did you always like keep a sketchbook around and things like that?
Oh yeah, I've definitely had breaks. Definitely have breaks.
Feel that.
Um, I would say from like third grade. So I was drawing a lot, like third grade up until like high school, and then that's where like, cause I was like in the honors classes and stuff like that. So that's when I started to
Mhm.
get busy and like I was doing like dance, piano, anyways, but it was a little bit simpler when you didn't have like honors classes, essays, and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
then I was still drawing, and it was more so like gifts for friends, like for their birthdays and stuff like that. Like that's how I continued to draw. And then I would say like once college came, because I decided to go to Rutgers in New Brunswick. I decided to do microbiology and then minor in public health. So that's just STEM. That
Yeah.
just took a lot of time out of you.
Yeah.
So I would
Mhm.
say when the longer break started, and
Mhm.
then when like I graduated from college, and it was like 2000, like around the time before I graduated, one of my friends told me about like Inktober. So it's like that
Okay.
challenge to do every year, and like you can. That's when I first experimented with like the pencil and then the pen, because you're allowed to do that for the challenge. So
Mhm.
you get like a prompt, and you have like for the 31 days. So the challenge is like you can do each prompt for 31 days and post it on your social media with the hashtags and everything. That was
Mhm.
the only reason why I was using Instagram for the past few years up until last year. And so from 2017 up until like 2019, every October I would just draw Inktober drawings, and
Okay.
I essentially did the 31 days, and then that would like, because you so much drawing and like staying up late and stuff like that, then I feel like most of the year I would stop drawing, and then the next October would come and I would do that, because that was the first time I was drawing like literally every single day. So that's
Mhm.
how like the breaks were until I started
Hmm.
anime ink art. So now it's
Okay.
like every month. So that's how my breaks were.
I feel that.
So, question: was there ever a time where you just? Because I recently this year found out there is a such thing called artist block, like writer's block, and
Yeah.
I didn't know that that could actually happen to an artist, but
Yeah.
it can. Which I just recently posted. I'm like, is it really artist block or writer's block, or is it just a time where your brain is like stop and downloading information, and then as soon as you come out of it, you become even better at what you're doing. So I think it's like your brain kind of like resting a little bit. So have you had that opportunity where you just like, oh shit, I cannot draw anything. I can't think of nothing to draw. And then how long did that last? Like, was that like months, weeks, days? And then when you came out of it, you started drawing again. You're like, okay, you started probably doing something you probably enhanced to like a next level. So how long did that last for you if you ever had that or experienced that?
Yeah, I could say I could say actually I've experienced both, because I used to write also before I
Hmm.
started to do anime ink art, and I think sometimes it happens when you have two other things that are on your mind besides that creative aspect. So
Hmm.
then when it comes time to actually like think of something to do, you're so focused on everything else. So you're kind of just like, either I don't know if it stems from like you're not in the mood to do it, so there's nothing
Hmm.
happening creatively. So I would
Hmm.
say probably, I'm not sure if it's artist block, but it's just kind of just like if there's too much going on in my life at that moment,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't really feel like trying to
Focusing on
create
that right there.
or focus on that. So
Mm.
that could be like a form of artist block. And then I've known some people like they'll start wanting to draw something like, oh shit, like I don't know what to draw today. I'm just gonna watch anime
Hmm.
or something and come back to it. Sometimes it can last like just a few days. And
Yeah.
then I feel like if it stems from something personal, for some artists, I feel like it could last months or
Yeah.
up to a year. And then for some people, it's only a few weeks. It really
Yeah.
depends on what's going on, I think,
What
in that
what
person.
the situation is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes
That's
sense.
good.
'Cause I don't like.
That's a good way. That's a good to hear. Now that we are aware that there is because I was like, really artist block, and then I kind of thought about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that probably can't happen. You're not always on 20 when you're drawing, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that probably can happen. Like, damn, I never thought about that. So yeah, a better understanding for when I work with any other artists or things like that. I'll kind of I'll know, but like, okay, I see what you're talking about.
Hmm.
I don't like what me is like some type of stress. or like if work
Yeah.
got to that point. Because like when I was working in IT, like that's
Mhm.
creating and then technical. That's two different sides of your brain
Yeah,
being
it's
used.
two
So
different
sometimes,
things. Yeah.
yep. So sometimes like I will get so into work that I I'm just like, oh, I'm concentrating on this because, like, especially like if it was a huge problem, and then it's just
Yeah.
like my mind couldn't think about creating or writing or drawing or anything like that because I was so busy thinking about the other side. But the crazy part is like, for me, it wouldn't last long. It's like it'd just be in that moment, like in that time, and like I said, depending on how bad the situation was or how big the project was,
Yeah.
like it'll last. But as soon as I'm not doing it for about half a day to 24 hours, if I'm not doing it,
Yeah.
then I can start creating again. Like it's weird. So like usually I got to the point where I couldn't create anything during the week, and then it was just like on the weekend. That was the only time I could sit down and just write something. Like like it got crazy. And now since I'm like no longer doing that job, is like
Oh
now
boy.
Yeah.
it's like
Like
Now
that
it's
all of it was back to
that
like, let's
Buster
go, boys.
that Buster Rhyme
Yeah.
version and
yeah.
and Look at Me Now, Chris Brown
Mhm.
song. Tier know
Yep.
what I'm talking about. That's his boy,
Yep.
and I'm just like
It's like people say something, I'm just like,
I'm just
just
like
go with the whole thing, So it's
it
I don't
gets to
know.
the
You're
point
right.
where
It's
you be
like it
like
depends on the person.
it gets to the point where you be like, okay, Tier, you know what? I don't even want the character no more. You can have it. Here, there you go. Put it somewhere. I don't even want it.
Hey Scorpio, put that comment up because my freaking mouse is being weird right now. If you can,
Which one?
it's the newest one. I think that one of the newest comments.
Right here?
Oh yeah, okay, that was SJ saying that. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. SJ
That's right.
understands with the
Yeah.
creating and stuff like that because it gets weird, But I think
Yeah.
like for me, that's what it was. For me, it was just like the technical job and then the creative side of me. And I do feel that sometimes, like whenever that's the reason why now I set things aside for like business time. If I'm like, I got to go in the back end, like right now, quarter four, that's the reason why you haven't really seen me post or haven't really seen me talk about too much, even though I am writing scripts and stuff, but my mind's on the business side of things. So it's like the creativity is very minute,
Yeah.
it comes out in large bursts, but it's like my mind's just thinking, okay, time to pull all that student loan debt to work, right?
Yeah. That's all that was.
and get this business side going.
That's
Yeah.
all
Time to
that was.
and all that stuff. I feel like it's the same way. Like, I was like posting like every single day for the whole year, but like, I had vacation this month and stuff. I did a whole giveaway last month and I was spending the whole time on that. So I felt like, maybe it was like stress or whatever, probably. Like my eye was twitching at some point. I was like, it gotta be stress.
That was stress right there, for real.
That was stress,
It-
sweetie.
as soon as my eyes start twitching, like when I feel it, I'm just like, I'm taking a
I
break
got
from
I
social
got
media.
scared because I'm like, that hasn't happened in like since the beginning of the year or something. Like,
Yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell's going on? So,
that's when
like,
you need to just like stop and just be like, okay, no, I gotta
yeah,
back away
like
from this because
I
next
had
thing
to
you
like
know,
stop. I had to
yeah,
like stop the screen time. So it was like around the time where I went to J1CCon, but I was still posting content and stuff. But then at the same time, I was like, I'm transitioning to try to do more conventions. So like behind the scenes that nobody sees, even if I still post. I still post like every 2 days or so. Some people don't post, that often. So, but it was just kind of like I had my vacation last week. So, I was just, resting. I went to J1CCon. I had content for that. But I've mostly been like applying for conventions, trying to, promote myself and stuff like that. Interviews like this, different interviews, networking with people. I was trying to figure out this stupid expansion for the Shopify. So that took some time, and it's not like, because compared to Redbubble, you just sign up for Redbubble. That's it. You got a storefront set up already, and then afterwards you have their templates, and then that's it. That you got your store. But like knowing that like I have to have my own store, now you have to like set that up, the requirements and stuff like that. I didn't know the extent 'cause I never used Shopify. Somebody wanted to create a Shopify, but that wasn't in the cards at that point. Me wanting to make different products outside of Redbubble, that made me explore it. At least I didn't have to spend $1,000 because he wanted me wanted $1,000 in order to set up the store and create the store on Shopify. So
Jeez.
I
That's right. That's when people just be just integrating themselves into your business and then come back with an invoice. Like, I didn't ask you to do that.
That's one of those people that actually probably does that for a living, and that's his fee, because that's a new thing now where they're willing to set up your Shopify for you, and they're willing to charge you a crap load of money. When you look at it, you're like, I could have set this up myself.
I was like that caused me to like move away from him, and it wasn't that he was asking. I'm the type of person, like, if I'm still a frugal person, obviously, especially when you're doing this.
Don't
you gotta be like bills come first, then inventory, then this. Like you're just trying to figure everything out, and you're just like, I don't want to be broke at the same time. So it's like, if I feel like I can't afford something at that time, I will let you know. I won't be like, I want this service and I'm not gonna pay. If I can, I will. If I won't, I'll be like, nah, this is a little too much. So I mean, like, when he asked me for that, this was the thing about him. Like, I would explain what's going on, and then he would try to do a sales pitch, like, everything will be all right. We'll work it. Listen, I just told you what I'm like. If I'm telling you, that means like, we're not doing it right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when it came to that, like, because all I had asked this man was to help me with an email list. Mm-hmm. This tried to turn into create a YouTube channel for like $500. Oh, and then like he wanted to make the YouTube full time. Then it turned into like expand the email list. Then it turned into like create the own Shopify store. So that I was like, but I don't want to do that. And then he was like, have a whole pitch of like why I should do it. But I'm like, you gonna ship the stuff for me? Like, how is this gonna work? Because I didn't know that there was stuff like Printify. Because if you don't have Printify, you have to make your own stuff. So I'm like, so how are we gonna make this stuff?
Mm-hmm. I had that happen to me too.
Sure, you can do like drop shipping and everything.
Yeah.
But like you listening to my concerns, right? And then he's just no, he's not. Yeah. And then
he wasn't.
Basically, I was paying off my student loans. I was doing a lump sum payment around the time that he asked me that, because like I had money saved up in my joint savings account that I have with my parents, and we would put in money in there. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to drop it down lower before this whole like we found out that they're gonna relieve your debt. And because I was doing that, once it finalizes, my debt will be paid off because I kept paying. But this was like a larger amount of money this time. It was a little bit more than $2,000, that I had to take out of that account. And now he's asking me for like $1,000. I was like, I told you this last week, bro. Like this is not like January. He wanted to do this in January. So you mean to tell me I have to take out over this much money and then give you and he still kept pushing it. So it was just like
that's funny.
That's crazy.
That's funny. He was like, I need a gig. Yeah, he was trying his hardest.
Get this money.
Get this money. He was trying his hardest. Jesus Louise.
I think he wanted more customers. He wanted people to like believe in him, because I remember like when I would do services, he would always request like the reviews right away. I think he wanted more clients to see his work, and I don't knock that. It's just that's going to deter people if they explain your situation to them and you keep pushing something that they don't want. That's the problem.
Exactly. That's That's crazy. People don't know.
People are so weird. I tell that all the time.
That shmoney, exactly, SJ. They wanted that shmoney. They
weren't thinking about you. They didn't want to hear none of that about your student loan. None of that.
I can't do that right now. Don't worry about it. We can do it right now. I can't do that right now.
Don't worry about it. We can do it today. You need to go ahead and start today.
Like, you don't have to do it right now. You can do it in a conversation.
Now he did it right now. He didn't care that Christmas was around the corner. He's like January 1st. I was like, okay. I excommunicated myself. I was done. I was like, no, we're not doing that. I deleted the number and everything. I think he tried to contact me. I didn't respond. I was like, I'm better now that you're not pressuring me. So
yeah,
exactly. That's why I don't pressure folks. like I've had folks tell me like, "Well, you should have came and asked again." The fuck for? Like, if, like if you wanted to do it, you would do
You
it.
would have
Like, why
done
I
it.
got? I'm gonna ask you multiple times for like I asked you like I asked my friends 2 to 3 times, and even them like, "Oh,
Hmm.
this is the second time." They're like, "Why didn't you come back?" I asked you twice.
That's it. I'm not gonna
So,
chase you, bro.
yeah, I asked you twice. You know, um, and it's just the type of person I am. I don't like chasing folks. I don't like that. Hold on, let me see. So, um, what is it that you like about the most about art? Like, what about art makes you want to do it every day?
Mm, different things. I think just like when you do have the time to do it, it's just fun seeing like at first you don't know if it's gonna look great, and then it turns into
Yeah.
something like it turns into
Yeah.
something that you didn't expect. That's kind of fun. Like it can be a little stressful at first. You're like, this eye look crooked. It's not gonna come out right. But then you just keep playing around. Like your mind can explore. You can fix this here and there. Like just finding a balance, and then like it's like just to have your idea that was from your mind to go on paper. That's what makes it fun, especially when you have like all these cool ideas. Like when I made the yin yang Koro sensei, like that was really fun because it was just like, how am I gonna do this? Like, is this side's gonna be evil? This side's gonna be this. Like, what am I gonna use to help me figure this out? Like, you can like get the fact that you can get inspiration from different things, whether it's from like your personal experiences or other people. Sometimes art is like an inspiration of other people, but you make it your own. That's what makes it like fun.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I do. Especially on like the finishing thing, like seeing what it was in the beginning, whether you're starting or whatever, and then seeing the end product, like
Yeah.
that's just there's no better feeling than that. Like that's just crazy. Like I surprise myself every time. Like every time I ink a page, like I'll start off and I'm like,
You're like,
"Oh,
yes.
I hope he can get through this," and then I get to the end and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's me. I did that." So like that feeling is good though. That's a good feeling. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
what you want to say, Scorpio? What happened?
What?
Oh, I
No,
thought you
just
were about to say
laughing. No,
something.
I'm just no.
Oh,
I'm like, no,
oh, I
not
thought you were about to say something. I thought you
no.
were to add on something.
Well, I would have jumped in and just interrupted you like I
Yeah,
always do.
yeah, very true, very true, very,
Yes.
very,
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Um, so we heard a lot about the business stuff, which was dope. So I'm not even going to ask you the business question because you pretty much answered that already. Um, the one thing I do want to talk about though is the cosplay side, like
Hmm.
because I'm curious, like how long have you been cosplaying? Like, is it something new? Is it something you've been doing like for years, and it's just like, oh, let me show the world finally,
Yeah.
That
So,
is so that like the fact that like I remember when you were like showing me the flyer for the for the interview, and I'm like
mhm.
so honored that you're a cosplayer there, because for me I'm like, I feel like compared to all the ones that are like doing their thing on social media, like I
Yeah.
definitely don't categorize myself as that, but I am grateful
Well,
that like the stuff that I've did is considered
mhm.
that, so like I really appreciate you.
Well, if the cosplayers are still there, this is the part where you chime in, the ones that are in the crowd, because same thing for me. Like because I was gonna start cosplaying. That was my plan to start cosplaying this year. And
That was
I
the
really
plan.
didn't like cosplay a character, but
Yeah.
I took a picture of myself, like not like dressed down, but like just a
Hmm.
nice little casual look. And then people was like, "Oh, that's Rainus, that's casual Rainus," and I was like, "I didn't mean to cosplay." They was like, "Oh, that's casual Rainus," and I'm like,
Whoops.
"Oh shit, I guess I did cosplay casual Rainus." So it's like I think I understand what you're saying because even with me, because I was like, I don't think I did that. And then people said, so I'm just like, now I'm running with it. I'm like, yep, that's me cosplaying casual Rainus.
You see, I
So I
wanted
feel
to
you on that.
I wanted to take it more seriously. So this is like the story with to why I said it like that.
Mhm.
In 2019 is when I went to my first convention. And that's where I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a cosplay for it. It's like a basic cosplay. I did Uraraka. So the one that you saw for J1 CCon
Hmm.
um is the first costume that I ever got. Honestly, I'm glad it still fit. But this time around, because I have these braids, I'm not
Mhm.
dealing with the wig. So I just had to
Yeah.
experiment with that. And I feel
And
like, yeah,
styling the
that's
braids. I bet that was cool. Like styling
yeah.
the braids.
I had to like it's like just it was like wrapping it and stuff. It was just like a on the whim thing. But that's sometimes what cosplay is. It's like it's your creative spin on things. You can have the wig and like the costume, which that's what I thought I was gonna continue doing because before COVID, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go like every year to at least one of them. So I'm gonna be cosplaying more things. That's what I originally thought. And then COVID happened and a lot of things happened and it was just like that was the furthest thing from my mind. Past 2 years have been wild, like just wild. Like I don't even feel like the same person from like 2019 to now. Not the
Man,
same person at
I,
all.
I
No.
feel you because for me, what COVID felt like was the 15-month deployment that I did. Like, remember I was telling you, Scorpio? Like, I
Yeah.
left this. I left the United States at the age of 23, and I came back at the age of 25. That,
Yeah,
that was
that's
COVID
wild.
for me. So it's like I was like, damn,
Yeah.
what happened in 2020, 2021? And
It's
that's how
all
I felt. Like even then, I was like, yo, what happened? Like, where did
because
wait,
I was like
2019?
Yeah.
being hit with stuff in my like I feel like it was like a year of like the past few years have been a year of like growth, like those things that you didn't think that you were going to actually go through. So it made you two things. It could destroy you or it could make you a better person, but I feel like it made me a better person or it made me want to take like risk and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it was just kind of like I stopped going to events because you couldn't really go and I stopped cosplaying. I
Yeah.
wasn't really like cosplaying on social media. It was only until Anime Ink Art started and I was trying to
Mhm.
find a way to have more creative content. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm drawing certain anime characters. Oh yeah, I can do like half cosplays. And then like I was like I felt comfortable to do a few like, cosplays, like full cosplays here and there. And then that's when people were like, oh yeah, you're part cosplayer, and I was like, oh shit, that's not what that wasn't the plan, but yeah, it was an outlet.
Whoops. I think a lot of
Yeah.
cosplay happens on accident where you
Yeah,
don't mean to, and you just so happen to do it, and then people are like, "Oh God, I love it." And you're like, "Oh, I'm cosplaying. Okay,
yeah,
I guess
It's
I
just like,
am."
yep. It's just like SJ said a couple things. She was saying, of course, you don't have to be professional. Cosplaying is a hobby,
Yeah.
which makes a lot of sense. Which, like for me, like I always wanted to kind of, oh, I got to do it professionally, and then
yeah.
SJMG are just like, no, just just do it, And then the closet cosplay, when
Yeah.
SJ says that, and closet cosplay is perfectly valid. Like we had Taneva on. I don't know if you followed Taneva on Instagram, but all of their cosplays are
Oh yeah.
closet cosplays, and they be freaking destroying it. Um,
Yeah.
and then, as she also said, my favorite cosplays are the ones where cosplayers put their own spin on it. And you know what? Actually, I agree with that. Like, I see a lot of people who will cosplay a character from top to bottom and look
Yeah.
exactly like that like that character. And I mean, if that's their thing, great. This is probably why I can never be a judge because I will be looking for the person who put their own flair into it.
Yeah.
Like
Like
if
what?
someone they be like, but they look just like the character. Like I don't
That's the
care. Like
problem.
anyone can look just like the character. I want the person who like had a afro and then that character maybe had a different type of hairstyle and
Yeah.
decided to like there's this one girl I don't know who it is, but she cosplays and she actually takes her afro and puts it in different like designs or shapes for like different
I
characters, and I
know
don't know
who
her
that
name is. Yeah, and like for me, I look at that, I'm like, yo, that's dope as fuck,
Yeah.
like that's so dope. Or like when people will take a character uh-oh, I forgot SJ is judged before. SJ said not necessarily tier, depends on how the competition is run. Haha,
is.
so I might be judging one of your cosplay contests one day. But like for me, like that's the thing that I like. Like I want to see that what makes you different from everyone else. And I guess for me, that's because I've always had this individualism ideal about
Hmm.
myself. So I even carry that into how I look at stuff. Like when I get a car, like my car will not stay like if I, they mass produce cars my car will not look like that car for too long. Like I will do something to it that makes my car look different from the other ones, and that's just how I've always been. Like my parents were like, why are you always getting rims? Like it has to look different. Like as soon as I get it, but like 2 weeks later, rims,
Yeah.
or then like tint, or I'm gonna paint the calipers, or I'm gonna do this. It always has to be something different, and I think that's the reason why I do move more towards the individuals who make their cosplay their own. Just like how when you cosplay the character that you went and took your braids and did it like that, and
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah,
that's dope. Like I enjoy that. Like honestly, all the cosplayers that I work with, the ones that I sponsor and the ones that I'm friends with too, like they all do that. They do
yeah.
something that makes the cosplay theirs.
Oh
So like
man.
people will see the familiarity, but oh, that's like SJ did a Sonya Blade. Like, oh, that's Sonya Blade.
Ooh,
But SJ's version, that's SJ's version. Like you're not going to
yeah.
see that one,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, that's what I agree. That's the part of it that I do like. So, oh, hold on. SJ said not every competition is based in straight recruit. Okay, recruit. That's good. That's good because
Okay, so
some of
then
these
if
folks
that's
out
the
here,
case, we're gonna have the Bread slash conference Sovereign Comics cosplay
cosplay content,
competition. If you
right?
come there with the same outfit as the character, we're gonna disqualify you.
Like even with that, like when people cosplay my characters, like they did things to make them their own.
Yeah.
Like SJ did things to like make Dia, which y'all haven't met, the goddess of entropy, but to make that her own. Uh, Same with Breather and Tectonica. MG did it with um with Siphon, because like in the comics,
Yeah.
Siphon. I don't know if y'all noticed in the comics, Siphon got booty shorts, like because Siphon's a fighter. Like so, a lot of her skin is showing, because of her powers. So like if you like when she fights, she turns her powers on. So when you touch her, you're automatic. You're like she's draining energy from you the entire time.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why her outfit is very skinny. That it shows a lot of skin. But MG was like, I don't want to do that. I do one. So she did like one long pant leg and then the short pant leg. And I was like, you know what? I dig it.
Yeah.
So I like even the cosplayers when they cosplay my characters, they make it their own, which is dope. So,
Oh yeah.
but
Just look, but just like Anubis said, he's winning that
I'm
contest.
I'm
Yes,
winning
you
that
would,
contest. Yeah, yeah, you would.
because Anubis
Good.
makes it his complete own.
Mhm. Like even
Yeah.
the way he did arms for Daquan, like they were like Daquan's arm, but he made them his own. So it's like if I
like
would see
Anubis.
somebody doing that, I'd be like, oh, they copied Anubis, rather
Yeah.
than they're cosplaying
Anubis
Daquan. I'm like,
just,
they copied Anubis and they did
just
the
makes
same.
it his own. Like he just owns it. You just be sitting there like, how the hell did you do that?
Exactly.
Like literally.
Yeah. I'm waiting for
That's
somebody to cosplay Alex, but ain't nobody took on the challenge yet.
it's gonna happen. You can do it. I did casual Rainus. Let's do casual Alex. I did casual Rainus. You gotta do casual Alex.
They gotta find time to do that.
What man? If you don't, I bet you got a trench coat in your closet right now.
Actually, I
No, you're
don't.
in Florida. You probably don't. You're right. You in Florida. You don't got.
Hot as hell that damn trench coat.
If you got a trench coat in Florida, somebody will call the cops on you.
Something wrong with your ass.
Yeah.
You ready to go shoot somebody? The hot ass Florida
Yep.
with a damn trench coat. What the hell wrong with you?
So I will ask this though, because I know you don't, because you say you don't consider yourself a cosplayer, but I think SJ, Anubis,
Them
there's
certified
another
you.
cosplayer. They done certified you. You are a
Yeah.
cosplayer.
You know what's
So-
funny? When I went to J1CCon, I think that's where the momentum started, because there was
Yeah.
a lot of people that followed me from there. And it's funny that you say that you like the one with the hair. That was just
Mhm.
me being like, there ain't no way I'm putting like 3 different caps on my head. No, so that's why that happened. And like the amount of people that liked it was wild. Like every person that I came into like people that I met that I may have highlighted, the mutuals that I met, they were like, oh my god, I love the buns, I love the buns. So I did it again when I did Anya, and it was just like, I'm not gonna be doing it for a few months, I'm not gonna lie, because it gave me anxiety trying to make sure that they don't come out. But like that's when people were like calling me cosplayer, because like I actually got like thrown into the cosplay contest there. And I think
Oh wow.
whoever followed me from that, I think that's why. I
Okay.
wasn't I wasn't trying to do it, but then like you were going through the different booths at J1C Con, and their actual like table was there, and they're like, oh, we're doing a cosplay contest. Like I like your cosplay. Like you should do it. And I'm like, oh, but I don't know. And then my husband's just like, oh, go do it. I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it, because I met people that were gonna be in the cosplay contest. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll feel comfortable, and like. They said, oh, make it your own, your stage presence. I don't know what I was doing. I was like, because like Uraraka is so like, I don't know how to explain it. Like she's shy, and there's not many, like, I don't feel like there's like a distinct thing besides like her move to do her quirk,
Yeah.
and like her just like always like being nervous and shy. So I'm like, how am I supposed to like go on stage and like emulate that? I never did that before, so I just like started like jumping everywhere, like twirling and everything, and so like I feel like that's what caused like the momentum of
Yeah.
that, just
That's
being
cool.
involved in that. So
That's cool. But then like we said, you added your own. So was she your first cosplay? I'm guessing that was your first actual like cosplay, or
yeah, so back in 2019, instead of it being with my hair, I went traditional because I wasn't wearing braids at the time. So I had like, I still have the Uraraka wig. You've actually seen it in a few videos because I've like reused it a few times. But I like modified it. But yeah, I had the full wig, and it was just the Uraraka costume, and I like added some like my earrings and everything. And that was actually like my first cosplay was Uraraka. So
that's what's up. That's dope. Oh man, we talked about a lot tonight.
Oh yeah.
This was fun. I'm so glad you got on and told
I know.
folks. I'm so glad. Where can people find you? Like if people aren't following you right now, where would you tell them to go to follow you? Where can they find you? What social medias?
I would say the Instagram is probably like the first one. So,
Mhm.
at Lizzy Collins Love. Definitely, go
I'm
straight
gonna
to the
put that
link.
up.
Yeah, go straight to the like on the page, you'll go directly to, the Redbubble store. Also with the Shopify store, which I just announced, is connected to Instagram shopping now. So you can also go through the store by checking the Instagram shop. So,
Okay.
definitely go there for that also. And I also have a Facebook, which I do use as often as Instagram. I try to
Mhm.
connect. So that one, the page is AnimeInkArt. So I would definitely say like, those two are like the greatest. I have more, but I feel like those are
Mhm.
the ones that like you'll see more consistency, because I was like everywhere at some
Yeah.
point. I still use the LinkedIn, but I would say Facebook and definitely like Instagram are like the
Okay.
two in terms of social media and my stores and stuff like that.
Okay. That's what's up. No Nubis. Alex is not Cypher Team, like SJ said. He's his own person, Scorpio's character. So he was in Sovereign One. I transported him as the omniscient of the Soulverse. I transported him to Sovereign Black. So he's gonna be connected. Like he probably will end up probably crossing paths with Cypher Team or end up working with them, or
He
I can
has to.
honestly see the
He
Madam
has to
like
cross paths.
yeah, he's gonna cross paths.
He's
I
in
can
love with
honestly I can see them.
Kunoichi. He has to
Yeah,
cross
I could,
paths.
and plus I can see the madam coming to him and being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
we need this person to go down for the long nap, and we can't do it.
Yeah.
Because we're in this, because like Cyber Team Alpha does get to a point where they're in the limelight in a sense. That's the reason. There's something coming with stars that I can't really say, but Cypher Team is in the limelight, so there's things that they really can't do. So they're gonna start not using, but working with other people to kind of deflect the limelight off of them, but also people to do darker things that they aren't able to do. So I can see like the madam, coming to Alex and being like, here's a life insurance claim on because that's the way he works, that's the way he does stuff. Here's a life insurance claim on this person. Can you go and collect? So that's Scorpio's character. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil anything,
It's
but I
not. It's
guarantee
not
you
out yet.
Anubis.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah, you're
out
gonna
yet,
like it.
Anubis. But it's not out yet. But do contact me. I can send you a good picture of Alex,
Mhm.
and just do as you please. That'll be the first person to ever cosplay Alex. So that's just yeah.
Oh, you were actually right about that too, SJ. Because there's characters in her book too. Like honestly, like with Alex being in Sovereign Black, and then SJ's Hellcat and the characters that she comes across and who her character is connected to, that has already shown up in the Cypher Team comic, which I'm not going to say
Hmm.
yet. I think you know Scorpio because you're in the writing team, but
Yeah. Well, probably
uh,
probably not yet. It
yeah, not
probably
yet.
went
But
over my
you'll probably
head.
find out. Yeah,
I'll find
but
out.
it's very possible that can happen. Like
Yeah.
that can happen. So see, that's the man. I don't know. People were telling me they were like, you shouldn't do interconnected. It's no one does that anymore. That's old school. And I
That's the
don't know.
problem.
People have
Nobody
been
does
loving
that.
it. The way that the Soul versus interconnected, everybody's been like, yo, this is crazy. Like they'll read a book and be like, wait a second.
Hmm.
Is this, and people will come back to me like, is this connected to? I'm like, yeah, it's connected in a way. Like now, and when it starts building, you're gonna start seeing some even deeper connections where people are gonna be like, yo, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yep.
folks. So it's a lot coming, and you just said tonight because I want to let folks know you're doing tumblers now. You're doing
Yeah.
some high top sneakers too, and
Mhm.
slides.
Yeah.
So
She has merch.
Lizzy's
She has merch, y'all.
has merch. Apparel list is growing. The apparel list is growing.
Go buy her
So
stuff.
yes, support Lizzy. Support Lizzy. Maybe one day we could work out something to see if we can't get some Sovereign Comics characters in your style
Yeah.
in your store.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
Sure.
we'll see. But yeah, thank you, Lizzy, for coming on. This was
We
fun. I
appreciate
really
it.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I really
you.
enjoyed learning about your path because even though, like we said earlier, even though people are doing the same type of business, everybody approaches it different,
Differently.
from different directions. And you showed that today. Like even the path that you took and how you approached everything, way different from what I did. Like I wish I would have thought of just
Yeah.
letting somebody print my stuff and airdrop it to my customers, but nah, I was like, I'll make it myself. No,
No.
I don't recommend that to anyone, especially
I'm
if
a
you're doing a lot
boss.
with your business. Yeah,
That's
right.
like
Especially if you
I'm
got a
a
lot going on.
boss. This is how I'm gonna do it.
I'm a lab tech in my day job. What am I supposed to know about? You know,
Yeah.
so
Exactly. And I know, like for me, as soon as I stopped doing that, it just took so much weight off. And people were just like, but the prices went up. Like, hey, I'm not printing it anymore. Like,
Yeah.
like even like, hey, you know, but awesome. Thank you for having us on. Thank you not having us on, but thank you for being on. Hopefully we can
I
have you
got,
on.
Hopefully we'll
You
be
know
on
what? All right.
the Lizzy
Did
show.
I just yeah, did I just create did I just speak your podcast into
The
existence?
Lizzy
Like, are
show.
you
Yes, you did.
the Lizzy show?
We're gonna have our guests tonight. Those crazy kids from the Bridge Podcast, the
Yep.
two dreadheads of
Man.
indie comics.
Exactly. There you go.
somebody asked me to do that actually. That's
You
funny
say.
that you said that. Because how I highlight people, I know
Mhm.
one of my close friends, like she doesn't do anime, but she does baking. Her name is Whipped and Pretty. Like she
Okay.
believed in me. She's one of the vendors that like really believed in me, gave me a platform to speak like on lives and stuff, and I wasn't used to it. And she, like came back
Yeah.
full circle this year, and she was like, "Oh, you don't realize that you probably have like a community that you're starting by supporting people and talking to people and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So
True.
maybe
You
if you reach the limit of 7,000 followers, maybe you should start like interviewing people. I'm like, maybe, but I'm like, I'll see. I'm kind of
You don't
shy.
need 7,000 followers. Do it before then. It'll grow.
Exactly. We'll We'll be glad to
Yeah.
be your first ones.
Exactly. I'll be on your show. I'll be your first person on your show. Everybody, if they gotta wait till you get 7,000, you can.
No. I was saying like
yeah.
at some point, if I keep following people and highlighting them,
Mhm.
I'm gonna reach that fast. So when I
Mhm.
said
Yeah.
that, she was kind of like, yeah, maybe you should start interviewing people. I'm like, I'll consider it.
Yeah.
What makes me nervous is like asking certain people. That's the thing.
I feel that. You should do it though. And I will help. Don't worry. I won't charge you $1,000. I won't charge you at all. Information is free. It will be free information for you. And yeah, you can. I think the Lizzy Show. There you go, right there. The Lizzy Show. See if it's already out. See if there's a podcast called the Lizzy Show. And if there isn't,
We'll come up with something else.
you can even call it the Lizzy Art Show. or
I
the
was
or
gonna,
the
I was thinking like I would just keep it Anime Ink Art Spotlight podcast. I don't know. This is a random thing. Maybe I don't know. It could be more creative. But I'm just
Ooh,
like,
ooh, 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 ooh. Anime Inks. Instead of an
there we
S,
go.
put a Z.
oh,
Anime
I see.
Inks. There you
I
go.
see what you're doing there.
Yep. Anime Inks podcast, and then people will know that are connected.
Anime Inks podcast.
Mm,
They have
there you
somebody
go.
in the beginning. Ah! I'm sorry. I'm always ready to
They're
mess
just in
stuff
there,
up.
they're
I'm
sitting there
sorry.
powering up the entire intro.
Ah! You're just like,
then when the time goes out, nothing happens. They just power down.
hello, this is Lizzy. Welcome to Anime. They was like, you did all that just to introduce yourself. Brother?
Did all right. We going all out. First episode.
yeah, that's how we do.
Yep. All right, Lizzie.
Oh my
Thank you
goodness.
again. Thank you again for being on. And yeah, keep killing it.
Yes,
Thank you.
Doing the damn thing.
please.
So for everybody out there on the bridge that came and joined us tonight, I hope that y'all enjoyed yourselves. I hope that you learned a little more about Lizzie and her company, Anime Ink Art. And yeah, y'all know how we do things. It's all about bridging the gap between the artists and their fans. That's what we do here. And we're glad y'all came and joined us. The bridge. And we're out.
Good
Take it easy,
night.
folks. Good night.
Night.
Don't eat.